good to go. So as most of you know, I'm sure, I'm Deanna Barish. I'm Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum Instruction and Assessment, and I'm sure you found my email by now, many of you. So over and over again. And then I'll let the other two that are here with me tonight introduce themselves. Jennifer, you want to start?
Sure. I'm Jennifer Bennett. I'm the principal with our Lakers Online.
And my name is Aaron Avery. I am the Dean of Curriculum Instruction for Lakers Online.
So we're excited to have both of them really leading. You're not going to hear very much from me, believe it or not, tonight. And so Aaron recently joined the team. Aaron has been at West Bloomfield High School for starting his 24th year, right? And so entire career here in West Bloomfield. So he knows the systems, particularly around secondary, very well. And so we're excited to welcome Aaron to the team. And obviously you've gotten to know Jen as a community of parents through Lakers Online with the communication that we've sent and so forth. So we're lucky. We feel like we have a dream team right now because they've really picked up the ball and really moved. I'm going to just talk very, very briefly, and then they're going to get into the presentation. I promise no more than 2 minutes. You know, I have seen a lot of things posted about we don't know about this, and perhaps we should delay the start of school. And I just want to address this right now. We're ready. You may be worried. You may be feeling like, man, I don't know when, we don't have our Power School login yet. I don't know how to get into Canvas yet. I don't know all these things. I promise you, by the time we're done tonight, you're gonna have most of your questions answered. And that by the time school starts on Wednesday, we will be ready to go. And that I think what we are telling all of our families, whether that's Lakers Online or across the district, is that this really is not any different than the normal fray of the start of the school year. So when you talk about, well, we don't have our schedules yet. Nobody in secondary has their schedules yet. And so those are all going live tomorrow. And that's pretty par for the course. Yeah, it's a little bit later than normal, but not much, quite frankly. And that's fine because there's nothing for you to do other than to look at them. And so there's nothing to do at this point in time. We got class placements out on Friday. For the majority of you, we know, and we're going to talk about tonight why some of those may not have gone through email. So, and how we're alleviating and taking care of that problem. But the Friday before school starts is typically when we send K-5 placements. Everybody else got theirs earlier because they had to have cohorts so they could plan for transportation and for childcare. But that's the only reason why they went out early. Otherwise, everybody would have gone out on Friday. So I know it feels like, why are we doing this? And we need another week. We don't. Because the beauty is we have 2 days of instruction this week. We have 1 day on Wednesday that's asynchronous. That's going to be a pretty easy transition to the school year. And 1 day of synchronous learning on Thursday. And that's it. And then we get to have Friday to regroup, to make sure we get out the rest of your questions answered, to iron out schedule conflicts. And then we come back ready to go on Monday. It really is an ideal schedule. And so we are starting school on Wednesday. And we will be ready. And everybody will be fine. And the beauty of your kids is we won't lose them, right? They're at home with you. And so we will make sure that you have everything that you need. We are working literally, and I cannot thank Jennifer and Aaron enough and other members of the team round the clock. Probably about this weekend alone, I would say probably about 18 hours. Well, no, I mean 8 hours a day, not total. We were interviewing last night until 9 o'clock. So we want you to know we will be ready to go and we'll be all set. So that's all I'm going to say. I'm going to be quiet and turn it over to Jennifer as we go through the presentation.
Thank you, Gina. I appreciate it. I know Aaron and I have both been working hard, but we also appreciate how hard you've been working to support us and hands in on everything and asking us what we need and helping us. So I know you have not rested much, probably a lot more than us. So we just wanted to quickly review some of the terminology that you might see and hear tonight when we talk about student schedules and their learning. So I mentioned in the last webinar, and if you're new, I wanted to make sure you knew this. So synchronous versus asynchronous. So you'll hear that as we talk about the types of instruction your child will get this year. So synchronous instruction means that they're going to learn at the same time, that we are live. Well, this will take place through Zoom in Canvas, and students will be, through their Zoom, will be communicating in real time. They'll be hearing the mini lessons. They'll be going out to breakout rooms. They'll be collaborating and doing all that. And the teachers will be providing that instant feedback. Now, that happens as well as asynchronous. So The asynchronous time is when students, it really offers that flexibility for students and opportunity for students to communicate and ask questions. Asynchronous learning can be watching a video, like a screencast, sending emails, blogs, different things where students can actually learn again and again until they grasp the concept. So we're really excited to have both of those types of learning as a part of our instruction. And again, I know you've heard this, I'm going to say it again, we're really, really lucky to have West Bloomfield teachers teaching our children. We don't have, we're not, you know, we are using our curriculum, our resources, our years and years of professional development and learning that we've invested in our staff. We get to use this in this online environment. So many of you have probably seen the online schedules at the different levels. I wanted to just bring this up and make sure you know where that is. So let me just close. Oh, I meant to close out of the presentation here to the website. So it is located right on our West Bloomfield Lakers Online website. And as you see here, our high school students are beginning their day at 9 o'clock. This is synchronous learning with we have our odd and even days, which you're used to. And that seminar, that 1 to 2 o'clock, is that asynchronous time, in addition to the Wednesdays where our teachers are available to support them. So Aaron, did you want to talk a little bit about the high school schedule?
So the idea behind the schedule, first of all, was to try to make school as similar to what it would normally be in terms of what they've experienced in the past. So we kept our odd even days. And at the same time, we didn't want to have the students sitting in front of a computer for the same amount of time that they would normally be in school, because that's exhausting and it's not really good for them. So we didn't really believe that was a good way to go. So we went ahead and went with 50-minute classes. And you can see 1375, and then 2465. Each of the first 3 classes is 50 minutes, and then 5th period is only 30 minutes, because that is our shorter period on the regular block schedule as well. So that being said, we also know that the students have a certain number of minutes they need to have each day. So built into the schedule are 50 minutes asynchronous per class period. So if you're going to go to 2nd period for 50 minutes, then you'll have an additional 50 minutes of coursework that is asynchronous at the student's own pace at whatever point they want in the day, that will equal the number of minutes they need to have in a regular school day. Okay? So by the time they get through 5th period, they've accomplished their synchronous time, and then however they want to accomplish their asynchronous time before the next school day, it'll be up to 50 minutes of additional coursework. Now, you'll see lunches in there for half an hour, and then we have the seminar period. So seminar is there, like Jennifer said, for a variety of reasons, but you'll know that the teacher will have a live session available during that time when they can reach their student. So it could be drop-in, or they could plan ahead to talk to someone. But the idea is just that the teacher is readily available during that time to meet a variety of needs that students may have to discuss with them. So, of course, Wednesday is asynchronous, which means they're on their own that day. And I think that is about it. Odd, even, odd, even. Okay, so I think it's a pretty understandable and intuitive schedule. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is the middle school schedule. This one is also an odd, even schedule, partially because we have students that are teachers that we share, and sometimes students that we share with the high school, so we want to match that. But also, it just lends itself to online learning well. It is not, and the students aren't overwhelmed with classes each day, and they have the ability to flex their time. It's a little different than the high school though, because if you take a look, the high school ran through all of its course hours right away in a 3.5-hour block, where the middle school has 9, for example, if we look at Tuesday, second hour, it's 9 to 9:50, which is synchronous, and then right then, they have their asynchronous time, and they don't have another class until 11. Middle schoolers, they tend to move around a lot, and having them sit around the whole time for a whole day is a little less realistic than I think it is with high schoolers. So theirs was built differently. Wednesday, again, is asynchronous coursework, 30 to 50 minutes per class, and that can take a variety of forms. Now, one thing that you might be used to is an advisory class at the middle school. And if you look at this schedule, you'll see that first period, my window's in the way. Monday starts with third hour, okay? So their first class is third period on Monday. The earliest they ever, the lowest class number they ever have is second period, which is on Tuesday, okay? But third period Monday, you see first period doesn't come. So first period is an advisory class that does not meet, but each student will be assigned an advisory teacher like they would normally have, who will be able to provide them during their asynchronous time things that will help them succeed at school. It'll also serve as a contact for them if they're having trouble in other classes. So it is an extra person that is on their team that the students can work with if they need be. So that is how that first period advisory class will help the students be more successful and still be part of their school life. Okay, I think I'm good.
Okay. So I'll jump into the elementary schedule. This is a sample schedule, and I just wanted to take note that although it does say like we have specials at 1:40 each day, this is a sample schedule. Your child will have specials at different times based off of the teacher in the grade level. So that may happen in the morning or in the afternoon, but what we've done here is really try to, again, emulate the needs that our students have for that movement. So we'll start the day again at 9 o'clock and begin with a community building and a morning meeting. And they'll lead into their first core subject. And that movement break and snack will be from 10 to 11. Now there may come a time where we have extra intervention opportunities where teachers will kind of coordinate that and say, might be able to pull a small group of students for 15, 20 minutes and give a little extra. That'll be worked out, on a one-on-one basis. Then we have another core subject. So our core subjects, we're thinking about our ELA, our writing, our math, science, and social studies. So throughout the day, students, although it doesn't signify when the asynchronous and the synchronous part is in the elementary schedule, I can assure you that we're not expecting students to sit in front of their computer live on the screen all day long. We have opportunities for them to take their lunch break at 11:40. Again, you'll notice that that's another break that's kind of built in right after that second core subject. We've kind of interwoven those specials in inside and out. And when we do see some cores that maybe are back to back, in this case, you see it here in third and fourth core, our teachers will be providing opportunities for students to be asynchronous at that time. So take a break from the screen, practice on their own, notebooks in front of them or paper in front of them, and come back together. So we are going to obviously continue to meet our needs of our students, engage what they need. So our teachers are very flexible and responsive to our students' needs. So then we have our asynchronous learning at the end of the day. And that is also an opportunity for teachers to reach out, to be available to families, to students for questions, similar to the seminar. And just like Mr. Avery had mentioned, that may be scheduled already ahead of time. There may be opportunities for students just to jump in and ask questions. But obviously that's the time where students can be flexible. So if they need to step away and practice some reading at home at a later time, that can happen. So we also will have a literacy intervention block at that time where students that need some extra support in reading would have 20 to 30 minutes where we can provide that live with them. So this block of time at that 2:10 time does provide some flexibility and gives those extra supports. We also have an ESL support block built in through that time, as well as that movement break time. So we are working diligently to provide that excellent service of education that we provide in our school buildings to your children online.
One little note on the schedule before you move forward is that if we had a day off for some reason, unexpected, the schedule still continues as it is stated. So let's just say that it went even, odd, even, and then for some reason Friday didn't happen, or the next odd day, we would pick up the next week with the schedule being consistent with the calendar days, not recognizing that we had a day off, okay? And the teachers would adjust their instructions. So just for your planning purposes and understanding where we're supposed to be, we keep the schedule rolling, even if something happens where we aren't able to have school.
Thank you for adding that. Okay, do you want to keep going, Mr. Avery?
Okay, class schedules. So we will be hopefully, and I believe strongly that hope is actually going to happen. Schedules will be coming out tomorrow at 4 o'clock. And that is going to be a pretty fun time for everyone, because getting your schedule is cool, and seeing how your life's going to be for the next few months gives people direction. And we've been anxious to get it out as much as you've been anxious to get it. So know that we're excited about being able to do that soon. So one important thing is that everyone's going to need to get onto PowerSchool, and there will be a PDF email to parents with that information. So please make sure that you're watching your email for a message from the school for how to get into PowerSchool. It's important that the kids, especially in remote learning, have that access to all their digital accounts. So keep your eyes open for that, as it will be coming along here soon.
Okay, so for the K through 5 class assignments, we sent these emails out on Friday, and what we did notice with some of our newest families to our district was that at some point from the registration process to our PowerSchool process, we lost some emails. What we've been able to do this weekend is connect those emails back to the accounts. So we're working diligently tonight to get those emails back out to you. So especially if I have any kindergarten families out there that did not receive it, those were some of the biggest ones that we really found with holes in it. So we've been working really hard to relocate that information, and those emails will be sent out to you with your teacher placement. So we appreciate, I know I'm getting lots of email inquiries because you're so excited, but also, you know, involved in your child's education. So we appreciate you reaching out, and that will be sent out to you. But we do have a process. If for some reason you're not getting emails and things, we'll share with you at the end of our presentation how we can correct your contact information. So another thing, we wanted to make sure, as I mentioned earlier, the access to the learning is and equity is so important to us at West Bloomfield and Lakers Online. And we know that some families are still, just due to the sheer number of appointments for registration, may not have had that appointment yet, and are students. So we don't want to exclude any child from learning this week. So we've come up with a opportunity to still continue the same rigorous learning environment, but reach all of our students. So this week, Wednesday and Thursday only, you will have an email, and your child's lessons or activities, anything that they need to do for Wednesday and Thursday will be in this email. And it'll be sent to you as well as to your child based off of the levels of ages of our family, so of our students. So Canvas will be accessible to all students by Monday, August 31st at 9 a.m. We're confident at that point that our registration and our process will be caught up and be able to be accessible on Canvas. Is there anything you wanted to say about that, Ms. Barish? Oh,
I'm gonna, there we
Sorry.
go. Okay, sorry. Let me, oh, jeez. I actually can maneuver. I swear to you, I know how to do this. So just so you know about Canvas and what's happening with it. And I've seen, again, a lot of scuttlebutt. Oh, this is what happens and this is why we should delay. No. The bottom line is this. when you get your PDF, when you get your email tomorrow that shows how to log into PowerSchool and your student's Gmail account, your West Bloomfield Gmail account for your child, that is the same login that you use for Canvas. But what we have found is, and which is very typical, we're building these classes, whether that's Lakers Online, that's Roosevelt Elementary, that's West Bloomfield Middle School, that's West Bloomfield High School. Does not matter. That we want the data to be clean so that when it goes into Canvas, the kids all transfer over, their classes show up correctly, and we're in good shape. And so it makes sense for us because there's integration between Canvas and PowerSchool, and then from PowerSchool to Gmail, that we have all of our systems aligned, or you're just going to be frustrated. And we're going to be frustrated, and teachers are going to be frustrated. And so we want to make sure that we take our time to do it the right way. It is not an indictment that we're not prepared. It is that we're just making sure that you aren't in a frustrating situation because a teacher got moved. We literally hired a teacher at 11 o'clock this morning. And so we want to make sure that teacher's information is in PowerSchool, then has an email address, and then gets pushed into Canvas. Or you're going to be really frustrated, and we're going to be frustrated. So please understand that we're going to make this a really great week for your kids while we finish and make sure that all of our integration is done as accurately as possible so that when we start next Monday, it's seamless. Again, you might ask, why would we wait? Then why not wait till Monday? Because I don't know that we want to start with a full week of school and not have some time to iron out these bugs. And so what better way to ease back into, after months and months of odd times, right? And so upheaval, ease back into the start of the school year, get kids back into routines, get kids back into just building relationships and getting to know their classmates and not worrying about all the other stuff. So we just want to clarify that for you. So Canvas will be available starting next Monday, the 31st, so a week from tomorrow.
Okay, so that first day of school, we're all excited about. As I stated before, the email will come to you. We'll have an introduction to your teacher, kind of a welcome, links to activities that they'll be doing for Wednesday and Thursday. We'll also have a Google form for attendance. Well, for this reason, we want to make sure that we have the opportunity to reach out and connect with any families that have somehow not able to attend that Wednesday or Thursday. So it's really important that we ask that you fill out the Google attendance form for us. And then we will be following up with anyone that did not attend. There'll also be links to our first live day. Our very first live day is Thursday, August 28th. So we know that our students still need those supplies. So we have a optional school supply list for Lakers Online K through 5 that can be found on our website. And we are still, I know we have our bags assembled and waiting on a few more supplies. So when those are completed, we hope to have that out to you after Labor Day. Your child will have, a K through 5 child will have access to books and other resources to support his or her learning at home. And we have a great number of digital resources as well for your elementary child all the way through high school. So we're excited that we're able to add to those resources that you are providing at home. So schedules, did you want to touch base a little bit on this, Mr. Avery?
Okay, when you get your schedule home, you should have 7 classes, middle school or high school. If you have a blank in your schedule, which looks like that, the gray part in the screen there, that means that you're missing 1 class period. So first of all, know that we know, and we're working on that, and it is not unusual for the first really 2 weeks of school in high schools and middle schools, because of so many moving parts, whether we're live or at home, to have a blank in a schedule. And you might think, oh my God, my kid's been overlooked. They're falling behind their peers. Nope, they're not. And we haven't overlooked them. We're working on it. So what that means is that within a week or 10 days or less, that will be resolved. Now, we are going to be working very, very hard to make sure that this is not a case you're going to have to deal with. And I'm excited, as I've been working through the middle school schedule just today, that we should be at 99 to 100% scheduled by the end of today. So that's a pretty awesome thing. But if for some reason you're in the high school or the middle school and you end up with a situation like this, you will receive a Google form and everyone's going to get it. And what happens is you are going to just fill that out and submit it. And it's really easy. It has your name, it has your student's name with a class period that they're missing. And once you submit that, that just raises another flag to add to the flag that we probably already see, but just another flag to make sure that we know that you're missing something there. So there is a step you can take to help to really highlight that concern. And I think you'll find that it'll be resolved shortly.
So as you will know that you need that by this Laker Online website link. So we have Lakers Online request on our website, and it's called the assistance form. Our website is growing by the minute as we provide more resources on it. So this will help us know, so in a very efficient way. So we are doing our best to keep up with emails and responding to those, but we're fearful that as people are emailing different people in our district, that we might not be getting you what you need. So we want to streamline the process with this. So if you have a student that you did not get your elementary teacher assignment, you have a schedule gap, or you want to request to return to the hybrid learning, and please know that that's a waiting list to return to the homeschool at this point, or you need your email address updated. This is the form that we would like you to fill out. We will be checking it minute to minute and making sure that our staff is responding. So if you have a scheduling issue, we're going to connect your situation with the right person. So we feel like this is the best way to streamline the process and get you what you need and your student what you need most efficiently. So again, this is on the website and on our Lakers Online website on the forms along the left-hand side with the, it's called an assistance form. So also really important for you, last day for Chrome Pickup is this Tuesday from 2 to 6 at the high school. Your child will need this for his or her education. This is where we will expect Zooms to be coming through and doing a good chunk of the work, especially obviously our live instruction. So please be sure, if you have not already, please come to the high school. It is seamless. I watched it as we're working. I've looked out the window and seen the process. Everybody, you drive through. Our workers have their masks on, and they're getting you that information with non-contact. So getting you those computers with non-contact. So please make sure that even if you get it or already have it, the logins will be finalized and ready by Wednesday. But if you're as we're working on the backside, you won't be able to log in. But your child will be able to log in by Wednesday, by the start of school.
A quick note on that one. So one concern is that, well, I already have a device. Do I need a school device? And the answer is yes, you need a school device. And the reason for that is because when we are doing certain instructional strategies or testing, for example, we need to be able to push certain apps out to the school devices so that all the students have them to use. So if you're holding off because you already have a computer, that computer will not provide all the services that you need to have for school. So please make sure that you're coming to pick up your device at the school.
That is the end of our presentation. I just wanted to thank all of you for joining us tonight. This is recorded and will be on our website for reference. And we are very excited. We're working really hard to make sure your child's online school experience is exciting and engaging and is rigorous. And we're very confident that we're ready to start the school year in a great way.
I would echo what Jennifer just said, and I see questions coming in the Q&A, and so there are things that are probably very specific to you. Again, we are directing everybody to the website, to the Google form. There's opportunity. That's how we're going to kind of siphon off who's going to respond. It's easier than email. It's easier than trying to get your voice heard right now. Please put what your concerns and questions are. Go to the Google form, complete it, so that we can make sure that it gets to the right spot. If it's questions about high school scheduling, it's questions about middle school scheduling, it's questions about when are we going to get, I didn't get a class placement. We've answered those things, right? So you need to go back to the website. You need to fill out the Google form. We have admin assistants that are working with Lakers Online right now. Some were working as we're speaking this evening. That is, we have extra help coming in tomorrow to make sure that these questions get answered. You may get a telephone call. So please make sure you answer it if you see West Bloomfield Schools, or maybe even a cell phone number you don't recognize. You might want to pick up because it's probably somebody calling to say, can we help you? We are truly trying to be as responsive as we possibly can be to you. There are probably questions, I would guess, around 504s and IEPs and some of those accommodation things. We have planning in place for that. Those are directly go back to our director. So it goes back to Diane Swadish. It goes back to Kim Szynski if those questions need to be answered. Right now, we want to get class placements to you. Tomorrow, you're looking for an email from us. It says, probably we'll say school messenger. So what WBSD is where that address is coming from, that will have your student's Gmail account login and then information about how to log into PowerSchool. So you want to make sure you look for that. That should be coming out right around noontime tomorrow. Middle school and high school schedules go live at 4 p.m. tomorrow. You will see those in PowerSchool. That's how you access your child's schedule. So you need to log in, have your child log in, so that you can see your child's schedule in PowerSchool. You don't need to do anything with Canvas right now. There's nothing to see. There's nothing to see here. Keep on going, right? We'll let you know when Canvas is ready and you can log in and you'll be able to see something. So, and the instructions are the same. It's the same email address and so forth, but there's nothing to see in there right now because we haven't done the integration. So don't worry about logging in. There's not anything in Canvas. What you want to worry about is getting your PowerSchool access as well. For elementary students, really you're going to see when you log into PowerSchool that they have reading, they have writing, they have math, they have science, they have social studies. Most of that for us, for Lakers Online, is built right now. What you care most about is who's your student's teacher. And that information has either been emailed to you or is going out, sounds like Jennifer said, yet this evening, because I know our admin assistants have been working feverishly today to get a hold of your email addresses if you weren't in our system to make sure that you get that information. And so please know that we are literally, we are working as quickly but as accurately as possible to make sure that we're ready to start the school year on Wednesday. So once again, thank you. I will make sure we get this shared tonight. I'll have it posted on the Lakers Online website. Feel free to grab it and post it other places as need be. I do want to say, I would appreciate it, of course, if you are kind and patient and so forth to both Jennifer and to Aaron and to our counselors and admin assistants. I think I said earlier and replied to something on the Lakers Online parent Facebook group. We've done in about 10 days what typically takes 4 months. And so, and for lots of reasons, we have about 1,400 students registered for Lakers Online. It is now the second largest building in the district. And so we extended our deadline to allow parents to choose to opt in later, which then pushes back our timeline to build schedules, which pushes back our timeline to find teachers and assign teachers. It just really has, because we were being accommodating to our community. And then in the same breath, we're asking you to be accommodating to us. We're catching up. We're making great progress. These two have literally worked as hard as you possibly can imagine to make sure that we're ready to start school on Wednesday. We will not lose your kids. They will not fall behind, I promise you. And we are really fortunate to have our teachers delivering our curriculum. And you're really fortunate to have Jennifer and Aaron leading the way, because they have done an outstanding job, and I'm proud to have them in these seats. So please know that we're working, and we will make sure that we're ready to start the school year on Wednesday. So have a good rest of your evening. Make sure you go to that Google form and fill it out if there are still questions that you might have. Thank you.